Welcome to the Dynasty YT. This is your King Shay speaking. Here is another professional game breakdown. This time it's going to be between Gravity and CLG Week 7, Day 1. Now this game was all about the wrong decision that Gravity made in the very beginning of the game. So they obviously both decide to fast push. Gravity wants this tower, and then also CLG responds to get the bottom tower as well. But the problem is, Gravity does a poor job in resetting the wave, whereas CLG does a fantastic job in resetting the wave. So as you can see right here, Gravity gets the wave up to the tower. They never fully reset the wave correctly. So then this ends up having Zion being able to freeze this wave right here. But as you can see, bot lane, they get the freeze perfectly to the point where it's actually pushing toward their own tower. The bot lane is pushing towards CLG. So now you have two waves that are pushing, the two side lanes are pushing toward your own wave, to your own side, and now it's very advantageous for both lanes. Especially for the top lane, because now CLG can freeze it. He'll get an item. He'll get a level advantage, item advantage, CS advantage, every advantage possible in the top lane. So here's just another example of how amazing CLG is at wave management. They get down here fast enough to the point where they can freeze it against Gravity, where their lane has no towers. So now it's very unsafe for Gravity to be this far up. Now because Gravity's bot lane is this far up, CLG wants to try to make a move on this side of the map. So that's why they're calling over Smithy trying to gank, and then St. Vicious is there because he's having the instincts like, okay, these guys are this far up, they're going to go for a fight. So now they end up going for a fight, and they realize they're getting counter ganked. And as soon as that happens, they both call teleport, but they both immediately disengage. So now, I feel like this is CLG's complete idea was to force Hanser to come down to this bot lane, because look at the top lane. The top lane just hit the tower, right? The top lane wave just hit the top tower, and now he literally lost like 1 or 2 waves of XP and CS. So now that lane just reset. Bot lane doesn't really matter. They didn't really care if that gank or teleport gank or whatever was successful. They only cared about, in my opinion, Hanser missing out on that CS. He already missed out on so much CS by getting frozen by Zion, and now they force the engagement bot lane and then make him miss another wave or 2 of CS top lane because he had a teleport down bot lane. So whatever Hanser did right here as well, you can't really see it on screen, but you can see it on the map. Whatever he did right here, like the lane should have been frozen right here. The lane shouldn't have been pushing against his favor. But whatever happened, he decides to Q the wave maybe or something like that, and now it's pushing against him. So now Zion Spawn, all he needs to do is start last hitting, and the wave is going to start pushing against him. So now Zion, he could freeze this lane for days. And I don't know if it was the call by Hanser, if it was a call by Gravity, for whatever it was. Now he's getting frozen against, and this game is just gonna get out of control the top lane. So now that the top lane has snowballed so far ahead, they take advantage of this by sending Link up here just to make sure that Hanser doesn't get any more of this CS. So CLG, notice how Link doesn't just randomly use his Q on the back minions to clear it, because that's not what they want to do. They want to keep those ranged minions alive to be able to have this top lane pushing against their own, against Gravity, right, toward CLG side of the map. And they do it well enough to where see how the lanes match up, not in the middle of the lane, but instead it ends up on CLG side. Therefore, there's more minions on Gravity's side, and now it's going to even push against Gravity even more. So he's already 30 CS behind. He's going to be even more CS behind because CLG does a fantastic job of wave management. Now at this point, it is very bad for Haunter. Zion is 2 levels ahead of him. Now he can just proxy this wave. All that amazing wave management that CLG did, it's all paying off right now when he has like a couple items ahead of Haunter. He has 2 levels ahead of him as well, and this is just devastating now. They also take advantage of the fact that he's so far ahead, so they want to try to make plays on this side of the map. Like you see Link trying to roam on this side, they're trying to contest on this blue buff. Unfortunately, there's not enough people for CLG to be able to contest this, but they just do a fantastic job of putting a lot of pressure on the map based on Zion Spartan being so far ahead in levels. Now right here is another option that I think CLG took in order to have Haunter really miss out on a lot of CS. So he ends up teleporting down here and immediately disengaging. I feel like CLG's decision right here was to not fight at all. Like, they didn't really care about fighting. Just like the very first teleport that they did, they just wanted to make sure that Haunter came down here and then missed out on all of that CS and all that experience. So now all 5 of here are going for Dragon, and then again I think that CLG's call is to not fight, just have it 50-50, and if they don't get Dragon, well, it's oh well. They have Haunter miss out on even more CS and even more experience. So Gravity ends up getting it, and it's unfortunate, it's whatever, but they don't really care. They realize that Zion Spartan is even more ahead of Haunter now. He's 3 levels ahead, and it's going to be even more ahead because he missed out even more CS. And just a little pro tip when you're watching these games, you can tell how many people have each have dragons based on the fact of right underneath the amount of money each team has. There's like this dragon looking thing, like the head of a dragon right there underneath the gold amount. And then it fills in every time you get a dragon. So right now CLG has 1, and then Gravity has 2 because of the eyes that are filled in, and eventually the head is the top head part's going to be filled in. So that's how you know how many dragons are taken by each team. So I feel like this is what was happening at the top lane for Haunter. I feel like he was pushing the lane for no reason, right? He literally just seeing Zion Spartan right there, and he uses the E to farm the wave. So at that point, Zion Spartan realizes, wow, like, he's going to die. Like, he has no escape, so now he just goes full engage on him. And then, of course, Aphromoo was able to be right there to secure the kill and get the assist. Unfortunately, Lulu didn't get the assist, even though he sped up Thresh to get up there. But anyway, I feel like that's what was happening with Haunter, the top lane, where he was just pushing the lane, and he doesn't realize the consequences of pushing the lane so fast. He's just gonna get it frozen against, and now he's losing in double CS. So this whole game was really methodical and kind of slow, very low kill game. But CLG realizes that Zion Spartan is so huge that they can start utilizing how strong he is and start split pushing. They don't really want to fight these fights. They just want to split push, force these people to come bot lane in order to deal with the split push, and now they get the top tower because of it. So they do a really nice job of map control, lane control, wave management, just doing a very nice job of winning the game without killing anyone, really. All the other kills, they're extra, but they do a fantastic job of pushing the lanes very well and doing a nice job of taking objectives down. All based around how strong Zion Spartan is. Now it's just textbook for CLG at this point. They ended up taking both inhibitors that are very free, split push, and have, the main carries top lane and have the other two split push bot lane. Take the inhibitors down. Aphromoo gets a hook onto him, and then so they end up forcing a fight. And since everyone is so far ahead in CS and everything like that, Haunter is 4 levels behind a Zion Spartan. There's nothing they can do, and it's just very easy for CLG to win these fights. So overall, this game was won on Gravity's poor lane management and CLG's fantastic lane management. So, like there was really no rotations that needed to be done. Like, this was just very textbook by CLG. But this started because how poor Gravity did managing their waves. So Gravity has to review this game or something like that and go back to Wave Management 101 because they have to relearn that process or whatever it is and understand how to manage their waves properly. So thank you guys for coming out Dynasty. Remember to check out my other videos. The links will be in the description below. I made other program breakdowns and I work really hard on these. So remember to check those out. Thank you guys for coming out Dynasty, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.